Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome or welcome back to Stars Aligned Oracle YouTube channel. Cat Star here with a bonus reading. So I've been feeling called to do a past, present, and future reading for you. I'm not putting a timestamp or a date or date frame, what have you, on this reading as it just doesn't feel like it needs to. So I guess in essence that means it'll be a timeless reading. Timeless meaning no matter whenever you come across this reading, regardless of date or time, and it resonates with you, for you, it is for you. All right, that sounded kind of, yeah. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get 3 columns or rows. The first will be the past, the second will be the present, and the third will be the future. And we're going to see what comes out for you, Aquarius, for this reading. What messages need to be heard, that need to come through. So let's get jumping cards as always. A few more cards out here. All right. And see what you need to hear for this reading, Aquarius. Okay. All right. Sometimes readings feel really, really easy, and other times they feel a little bit more difficult. So this one's feeling a bit chaotic. The cards are not wanting to line back up. So that might just be the present energy that some of you are in or feeling right now. So let's see. Let's get a couple of more cards out. Ooh, we got the... Well, look at that. That's pretty interesting. The 4 of Wands with the Devil there in the future. So, and there we go. All right. Okay. As a reminder, my readings are for entertainment and are general in nature. They may or may not resonate for everybody, so please do take what is for you and leave what isn't. For those of you liking and sharing the videos, thank you so, so much. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. So in the past, you start out here with the Page of Pentacles. So in the past, some of you were really reaching for your expectations, really putting yourself out there, and potentially you didn't feel that whatever it was that you were doing was being reciprocated. That maybe, now this is Pentacles energy here, so potentially this has to do in the past with kind of making some moves financially, or really putting yourself out there in a way that could have been maybe monetized or brought in some money, and or within a job or a career, right? Putting yourself out there in ways that you really, really were expecting this beautiful return, yet maybe some of you didn't really get that. You were doing things very independently, and it didn't really kind of bring that reward. So for those of you that resonates with, that has really put yourself out there financially or within means to create financial in the past, right? And that didn't really kind of align up with your expectations. That is the past. So do remember that that is the past here. And then you also have that Page of Swords. So 2 pages coming in here. Those pages are reminders that there is potentially a new past. So within the past here, you maybe were feeling that there was this kind of financial something that didn't kind of rise up to your expectations. You were doing it very independently, and potentially in that aspect, it was something where a little bit of advice, a little bit of help, potentially even a little bit of leadership towards that would have been beneficial for you. So that past is in the past for a reason, right? You're really were fighting for what you wanted. With that Page of Swords, you were really, really moving into it. And for some of you, that didn't pan out. Now, again, this is the past that we're looking at here, Aquarius. So moving into the present, you have double knights. Look how interesting that is. So in the past, you had the 2 pages. Now in the present, you have the 2 knights. So here with the present, with the Knight of Swords, this is really, you know, having that pursuit of excellence. So in the past, potentially, the whatever it was you were working towards, and again, Pentacles came in here in the past, so potentially it was in the area of finances or money or career, right? It didn't really kind of step up to your expectation or where you thought it would be. Now with this Knight of Swords, this is really you still tuning into that pursuit of excellence, charging ahead, if you will, into that. Now, there may be a little bit of confusion around the next steps to take, where it is that you know, maybe need to go next. Now, you are being reminded here that there are cycles that happen. There is that ebb and flow, and that there are going to be the next steps showing up for you here in the present moment. Now, whether this has to do with finances, money, career, whatever that is for you, Aquarius, there is that you're still in that pursuit of excellence, and those next steps, right? There's the cycles with that moon, that confusion. The next steps will be shown, and there will be clarity coming in for you in the present moment. Now, you also have that Knight of Wands, and of course, Wands is that passion. So that passion really coming in here with that, and this is taking that action. Now you have 2 knights. This knight card actually looks like it's taking a bit more action, or has a bit more movement or a bit more speed, right? Because swords are quick energy, than the Knight of Wands, but both of these are action cards. So in the present moment, you are being reminded, if you haven't already been taking that action, to really tune into kind of what's coming in, what's being illuminated or highlighted for you with that moonlight, and to take that action towards that. And as you continue to do that in the present moment, those next steps and that clarity will continue to come through for you. Now, in the future, look at this. You have the 4 of Wands, the Devil, and the 10 of Wands. So that is super, super interesting. The 4 of Wands is a comfort card. So in the future, moving into that comfort, this clarity, this action, bringing you into comfort. And you're also being reminded to look at any potential toxic or maybe even detrimental kind of habits, whether that's spending habits, or sometimes what's coming through is it can be jumping the gun too quickly. Okay, so moving into that comfort in the future with that 4 of Wands, into that celebration, into that success, into that beautiful, beautiful energy, that optimistic energy with that yellow in that card, right? But also noticing or being made aware of, for some of you, the potential toxicity of maybe your habits, or maybe certain things that you're thinking, or certain actions that you're taking. For some reason, it's coming through here that spirit or the universe is actually going to bring about these ahas and these knowings for you, so that you are made aware of where that toxicity may be lying. So this could come through with a situation, with a person, with feedback, right? Letting you know of where those situations may be, or where habits may be that are detrimental to that comfort that is there for you in the future, so that you can course correct, so that you can pivot or move in a different direction, and or look at those potential habits or those toxic kind of things that are potentially going to hinder that comfort and those celebrations there in the future, and really be able to adjust where that is, and or let go of anything that might be a habit that could be detrimental, that isn't benefiting you. And then you also have that 10 of Wands coming in here, and that 10 of Wands in the future is just that reminder that you get to let go of the toxic things, that you get to let go of burdens, you get to really kind of put out whatever it is, the word isn't coming to me, the actual word isn't coming to me, but if you have too many things on your plate, you get to kind of put those out, excuse me, or um, allow others to help you, to support you with that. Also, what is coming through for me with this Ten of Wands is that reminder that um, if you look at the image in the card here, it almost looks like they have their head down and they have the wands kind of blocking their view. There is that house or castle here in the background that potentially they're not seeing, because it does look like the head is down. Like I said, almost this head in the sand is what's coming through, and that there may be a blocking of that. So within that one, when these potential toxic habits or what have you are coming through, make sure you're not putting your head in the sand, because if you look at these two cards here, there is a slight resemblance between that comfort card, right? That celebration, that success with that Four of Wands, the synchronicity, seeing the opportunities, and this kind of house or castle, what have you, in the background of the Ten of Wands. So if you're keeping your head down, this is kind of a reminder or advice, keeping your head kind of down in the sand or being blocked from that bigger picture, you may miss this in the future, Aquarius. So do be sure that you are looking out for all of the things that are working their way into your life and or in the future moments, right? Sometimes that big picture is hard to keep track of as we work through the smaller pieces, and yet you're being reminded in the future that this is what you're moving into. This beautiful Four of Wands energy is what you are moving towards. So make sure that you're, not putting your head in the sand and ignoring or not paying attention to or taking or listening to or noticing the potential maybe criticism is the word coming through, as far as the habits or the potential toxic traits, right, with that devil card, and that you're allowing yourself to either be made aware of them or to become aware of them and to really sort them through. Look at them, notice if you think that that is something that is actually helping or hindering, and kind of take those blinders off and put your head up. Hold your head high, Aquarius. Always, always hold your head high. Now let's look here. What in the past could be now moving into the future? So again, with that past, that high expectation, yes, of course, with that Page of Pentacles, we do need or want to hold high expectations and receive the good news and making those plans for your future, right? Just make sure that you aren't setting the bar too high. Now, we want to reach for the stars. We always are working towards that higher kind of level. I mean, even when you reach a goal, Aquarius, you continue for the most part and set another goal. So we do want to always be reaching. We do want to make sure, though, as well, that we're not setting that bar too high moving into the future, so that if it isn't reached, right, we don't feel confusion and or we don't feel like the rug has been pulled out from under us. We want to take the steps and continue moving forward, and also make sure in a certain sense, right, in a certain sense, that we are really doing the work to bring that expectation into reality, and that we are, again, with that Ten of Wands, really holding our head high and noticing everything, right, that is around us, not putting our head in the sand and waiting for that big picture, right, to show up or be dropped in our laps. Now, I'm not saying stuff like that can't happen, and yet you're being reminded here from that past, moving through the present and into the future, to continue to see that big picture, whatever that is for you, and to be really reaching for and setting the goals in bite-sized pieces so that you can see that you are moving forward. Okay, that is really gorgeous for that. Now, what from the future, or what from the past, let's see, past into future. I had this all came to me earlier, and now as I'm doing it, so what from the future, or what from the past might you be pulling in to the future that is not going to be beneficial? So with that Page of Swords, now normally we would do it this way, but for this it's feeling like it's going that way. With that Page of Swords, or excuse me, Page of Swords, Page to the Moon. We have the two pages and the two knights. Page to the Moon, you have that Page of Swords, which is that energy of having that kind of fighting for what you want and being curious. So you're taking that into the present. For some of you, that fighting for what you want, you're not having that clarity of what it is that you actually do want. So you're actually kind of pulling in that confusion from the past into the present because you haven't gotten that clarity or set those goals or really, really defined where it is that you're wanting to go and what it is that you're wanting. So that confusion is coming in. But within that, right, you have the Four of Wands as you move into the future. And that Four of Wands is reminding you that with that clarity and with knowing what it is that you're fighting for, you will have that celebration, that comfort, that happiness, that optimism that shines through and brings you through the future, through the present into the future with a happy, very beautiful kind of conclusion, because it's not an ending. It's always movement, always change, but there will be a conclusion or a happiness and optimism, a kind of almost putting a bow on it. Excuse me, is what is coming through with these little bows on either side of the Four of Wands here, putting a bow on it and knowing that you were able to achieve, because you are limitless and you're able to achieve anything and everything, Aquarius. So this is a gorgeous, gorgeous reading for you guys, a bonus reading. I do intend it resonated with you and for you. If it did, please do hit that like button and share this video. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. Also hit the subscribe button, the bell icon, and click that all notifications box so you're notified every time I upload new readings. Of course, that is free for you to subscribe and hit the bell and check the box, and it helps your girl out immensely. As always, I do wish you lots of hope, lots of joy, and lots of love with all of your current and future endeavors, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.